Buying a property in Dubai can be an exciting and emotional process, and this guide will break it down into easy-to-understand steps that help you to avoid mistakes and make informed decisions. First things first, know your why. What is your investment motive? Are you planning to buy a home for your personal use? Or are you interested in an investment property, a property which you can rent out and generate income with? This is important to determine right from the beginning, as this is a question you will be asked many times during the whole purchasing process. Now we can go to the next step, which is thinking about your finances. Are you going to buy cash or mortgage? Already at this stage, you need to understand how much budget you want or can afford to own a property in Dubai. If you need financing, use any of the online available mortgage calculators here in the UAE that offer you a rough estimate about how much you most likely will be approved for. These preliminary numbers aren't final, but at this stage we only want to find out what a mortgage payment looks like so you can set yourself a budget to work with. Once you're financially ready for it, we can start thinking about properties. Now that you have your budget figured out and you are financially ready, that is where the fun begins. Now you need to think about what exactly you want, and then decide which of those features are main priority and which ones are nice to have. Make a list and write down how many bedrooms and bathrooms you need, which amenities are your priority, if apartments or townhouse or villas are more your style, and if your property shall be completed and ready to move, or if an off-plan property under construction is your preferred option. And while you're doing that list, always have your investment motive in mind. When purchasing a property in Dubai for investment purposes only, most likely the requirements will be very different to when you buy a property for your own personal use. Also, when house hunting later on, you should be prepared to compromise. It's rare when a property has all the features you need, so best to rank your list in order of the importance. Quick side note here. As an expat, you can only buy properties in Dubai in so-called designated freehold and leasehold areas. Freehold means that you have the complete ownership over the property and its land, which would always be my recommendation, over a leasehold property, where you can obtain property rights only for 99 years. Now we can go find properties. And here's the step when most home buyers get it wrong. They immediately start calling real estate agents to book multiple appointments, wasting hours and hours on the phone, as professional agents won't entertain their inquiry yet at that stage, and B, driving around and attending one viewing after the other without any clear result. So whenever possible, I guide my clients by providing a more systematic route through the whole home purchasing process to give them the best return on invest of their time. And here's my approach. Now that you know your preliminary budget, the type of property you're looking for, and your specific requirements, such as number of bedrooms, you can start your initial search on the leading portals, such as Property Finder, Bayut, Hausa, where you can enter your budget and your requirements to filter your results. Here it is important that you set your price range filter in accordance with your budget. As an example, when you run the numbers and you see that you will be most likely approved for 2 million dirham, set the price range filter accordingly, with ±10% and search. Now you can see all Dubai communities and neighborhoods that offer properties matching your requirements within your budget. Spend some time now on these portals and explore the different neighborhoods, the project, and the property description. Once you start finding communities and projects that appeal to you, go and drive and walk through these communities on your own. Not to view any units, but to explore the neighborhoods in general, to get the vibes and feeling. Ideally, you do that more than once at different times of the day. I'm pretty sure after a while you will be able to shortlist some communities and projects within your budget, which excite you and make you want to view. Now it's time to introduce a real estate agent into the process, as it is beneficial to you to utilize the agent's network and resources, such as lenders, mortgage brokers, trustee offices, etc. A professional certified agent does not only find you the best option, but makes a big difference throughout the whole process of buying real estate. From understanding your needs, knowing the ins and outs of the market and its applicable laws, to negotiating on your behalf with the seller and closing your unit. You might be wondering why I didn't introduce us, the agent, already earlier in the process. And the reason is very simple. I want you to have a pleasant and enjoyable journey throughout the whole process. At no time I want you to feel pushed into buying a home or into a certain community or project that you're unfamiliar or uncomfortable with. I want you to have a good understanding of your finances and ideas of where you want to live or invest. And finally, at this stage, I want you to be sure that buying a property in Dubai now is exactly what you want to do. You will want to find a RERA certified agent that you can trust to help you to find your perfect property. There's just one other common mistake that you shouldn't do. Don't use the same agent who is selling the home you're looking to buy. It's much better if you have your own agent to advocate and negotiate on your behalf. Your agent will conduct an in-depth consultation with you, where all your finances, requirements, and timelines are discussed. The agent will also talk you through the whole purchase and transfer process step by step, from start to finish. And at the end, none of your questions should be left unanswered. In Dubai, it's the buyer who is paying the agent's commission, which is 2% of the property value. Signed Form B, which is the buyer and agent's agreement, enables the agents to represent you during the upcoming negotiations with the sellers. If you're not a cash buyer, ask your agent now for recommendations for mortgage brokers or lenders they trust and work with, if you want to get pre-approved at this point. Preparing your mortgage application will take up some time, so now it's best to start the process. The pre-approval is just one more way to show that you are serious and committed to buying a property. It shows sellers and agents that you are able to get financing, which can give you an advantage over other buyers who might have a less secure financing. Typically, a pre-approval is only valid for 45 to 19 days, after which it needs to be updated. And if you're paying in cash, make sure that the money is here with you in Dubai at the time of transfer. Now that you have shortlisted some communities and projects, you found your real estate agent, and you got your pre-approval in hand, now your property hunt will begin to take shape. It's time now to see properties in person. Your agent is setting up a safe search for you that is screening all availabilities as well as off-market property. And he will provide you with listings that match your requirements on a regular basis. If you see listings that you are really interested in, then act on it immediately and tell your agent to set up a viewing ASAP. In the current market in Dubai, it is super important that you check out properties as quick as possible. And here I would advise seeing everything that is on the market which matches your requirements. The more you see, the quicker you recognize the good ones when they come up. And also, it might be challenging to commit to a property if you don't know everything else on the market, even if it is the perfect fit. As soon as you find a house that ticks all your boxes, go for it. Be confident. Make an offer. Why? Because you have already made a decision to buy. So you're all set. You have already gone for your funds and financing. And you know exactly what you want from that purchase. It means, with these requirements met, you're ready to go. Unlike many other buyers who got it wrong when they started their search without having their finances ready. Some are probably facing situations where they fell in love with a property during a viewing, but they cannot put an offer on it because they're not confident that they're able to afford that property. So please don't let that happen to you. Once you make an offer through your agent, the seller then has the opportunity to accept it as is, turn it down, or negotiate the terms. During that phase, your agent will constantly be consulting with you while negotiating on your behalf. Congratulations, your offer got accepted. So what's next? But wait, before we do this, if you have found this video helpful so far, I think you should subscribe and turn on the notification bell. Now back to the transaction types. It's possible to buy a property in Dubai by either buying a ready home from an individual seller, which we call ready secondary market, or by purchasing an off-plan property which is under construction, either direct from a developer, which we call primary market, or by purchasing an off-plan property from an individual seller, which we call primary resale market. For all these purchase types, the process is straightforward. For buying a property from an individual seller, be it a ready unit or an off-plan resale, once the buyer and seller agreed on the price and terms and condition of the purchase, both parties sign a so-called MOU, which is the Memorandum of Understanding, referred to as Unified Form F by the DLD, which is the Dubai Land Department. This form is generated by the agents over the DLD REST app and registered with the DLD. At the same time, the buyer will be asked to produce the current data check in the name of the seller as a 10% deposit and proof of commitment, as well as post-dated check in the name of the broker's company for the agency commission, which is in general 2%. The seller then applies for the NOC for transfer, which is a no objection certificate with the developer. This is needed to ensure that there are no due payments for service charges against property. Upon receiving this NOC, the seller is ready for transfer. Upon signing the MOU, a pre-approved buyer now initiates the mortgage process, which includes a valuation or appraisal. The day of transfer, seller and buyer and their agent, and in case of a mortgage, the lender's representative, meet at the trustee office, where the buyer or lender pays the full property purchase price, as well as the 4% DLD registration fee. The official transfer of the title deed onto the buyer's name takes place now. If a mortgage is involved, the mortgage will be registered with DLD as well. As an average, a secondary or resale market property transaction in Dubai takes about 30 days from the date of signing the MOU. Buying an off-plan property from a developer is straightforward too. Upon selecting a specific unit, the buyer fills out the reservation form, which mentions all property details, such as unit size, price, estimated completion date, and the terms of the payment plan, and he pays a reservation fee, which differs among developers. Upon receiving the buyer's down payment, as well as the 4% DLD registration fee, the developer generates the SPA, which is the legally binding sales purchase agreement, which must be signed by both parties. Once the SPA is signed and 25% of the property price is paid, the purchase will be registered in the so-called interim real estate register of the DLD. The proof of such registration is called Ukud, which functions as a preliminary title deed. As soon as the property is ready and paid, the Ukud becomes a title deed in the name of the property owner. Soon you will find another video here on this channel covering all related closing costs. And if you're wondering why the rich buy Dubai properties and why is it a good place for you too, then watch this video.